victory in this race. Bert Cameron missed becoming the first man since 1952 to win the 400 meters 3 years in a row. And at that time, it was another Jamaican, George teammate Carl Lewis, who dominated the sprint. Floyd had transferred from Auburn and was ineligible to compete. This year, it is Lewis who is ineligible, and it is Stanley Floyd's turn to star, a situation which creates no animosity between them.
Carlos, now we are very close.
Lewis of Houston, who is academically ineligible to compete this year. Stanley Floyd is in the middle of the track in lane 4. His primary competition could come from the two men on either side of him. Willie Galt of Tennessee, an outstanding high hurdler who's improved markedly in the sprint, and in lane 5, Calvin Smith of Alabama. False start. And it looked as though it was Calvin Smith of Alabama next to Stanley Floyd in lane 5 who came out early. Another look.
That's correct, Jim. It was Calvin Smith, and when you're alongside Stanley Floyd, who has an explosive start, you can't get caught anticipating the gun, which is a crucial mistake here in the 100.
In NCAA track and field, one false start means disqualification. So, Calvin Smith of Alabama will now be out of the race, and lane 5 will be empty as you look at Stanley Floyd and Willie Galt preparing for another start. Strong wind is now starting to pick up as it has become heavily overcast here, and the weather is changing just before the start of this race. This time a clean start, and as they come out of the box, Mike Miller of Tennessee got the jump momentarily. Now it is Stanley Floyd who has moved back into the front. Stanley Floyd pulling away as they come to the tape. He goes across the line ahead of both Willie Galt and Mike Miller of Tennessee, and immediately as he came across the line, you saw Stanley glancing up at the big scoreboard to see his unofficial time.
Jim, as we see here in the replay, the start is the most important part, and to everyone's surprise, Floyd didn't establish the lead early. He's getting pressure on his left side from Willie Galt and also Mike Miller on the right. But Stanley right here is starting to really smoothen out his technique and has a great body lean as we go into the tape. The two Tennessee sprinters, second and third.
Now another look at the race isolated on Floyd and Galt. What's it like running next to an empty lane, Ronaldo?
Well, I know when I'm running, Jim, I like to be right in the middle. And right here, Stanley has no one on his right side to groove against, and he really has to run all alone. He can't really see anyone on his outside.
You saw him drift momentarily into the empty lane. Now Marty LaCourie is with him on the infield. 3 is the 6th fastest 100-meter time ever recorded. The rain affects the hurdlers.
Well, Jim, it's hard enough trying to beat your competition and trying to perfect your technique along the race. But when Mother Nature brings down this storm, it really psychs the competitor out. And I know when I was competing, the most common thing on your mind is falling down. And the hurdlers